If you've ever walked through Kampala after a heavy rainstorm, you've likely seen the floodwaters turning thick and brown. That brown water is Uganda's most valuable resource, our topsoil, literally washing away down the drain. When that topsoil stays on our hillsides, it is the foundation of all life, actually a thriving universe of living things. A healthy handful is a mix of the humus, the dark, rotted material from plants and animals, alongside pockets for air and water, and the biology that keeps it all moving. The humus provides the nutrients, while those tiny pockets of air and water give the roots the space they need to breathe and drink. Earthworms and microscopic fungi act as nature's recycling crew, constantly breaking down dead leaves to create even more of that rich humus. This living ecosystem is the engine of our agriculture. Losing it threatens our ability to feed our families. To see how this wealth is lost, let's look at two neighboring hills as a storm rolls in. One has been stripped bare by human activity, while the other is protected. On the first hill, cutting down trees has removed the leafy canopy that normally acts like an umbrella, shielding the soil from falling rain. In other areas, keeping too many cattle in one spot eats away the grass blanket, leaving the ground totally exposed. When the storm hits that exposed land, the damage begins with splash erosion. A heavy raindrop hits the bare dirt like a tiny bomb, shattering the soil crumbs and knocking the particles loose. This leads to sheet erosion. A wide, flat layer of water slides over the land and quietly strips away that topmost nutrient-rich layer of humus. As the water gathers speed, it begins rill erosion, cutting shallow, finger-like grooves into the hillside. Finally, those small streams merge into a torrent, creating gully erosion. The water carves deep, dangerous trenches into the land, destroying the farm entirely. Human actions do not cause the rain, but by stripping the land, we leave the vault door open for the water to steal the soil. Now look at the protected hill. It absorbs the exact same storm because the farmers here use methods that lock the soil in place. They use mulching, covering the bare earth with dry plant materials like banana leaves. This creates a physical shield that absorbs the raindrop's energy, stopping splash erosion. Planting trees alongside crops, or agroforestry, allows deep roots to bind the soil together like a net. In steep areas like Kabale, farmers rely on terracing, which involves cutting flat steps into the slopes. These steps act as mini dams. They break the speed of the water and force it to slow down and sink inward. Effective farming copies nature's own armor to keep the wealth of the soil in place. Can a badly eroded, exhausted patch of dust ever be brought back to life? Chemical fertilizers can feed a plant, but they leave the soil as a loose powder. They don't give the earth the physical body it needs to stay put against the wind and rain. The long-term solution is compost. By returning rotted organic waste to the earth, we can rebuild the soil structure from the inside out. Living bacteria and fungi process that waste, acting as a binder that knits loose dirt particles and organic matter into heavy, solid crumbs. Because this soil is now bound together, it easily holds water and physically resists being washed away by the next storm. By using all of these methods to protect and rebuild, we transform broken ground into a vibrant, thriving landscape. Remember, nature takes centuries to build topsoil. By acting as its guardians, we secure Uganda's prosperity for generations to come.